So hours after the New York Times reported that the administration was planning to distribute the coronavirus vaccine to its staff first, President Trump announced a reversal to that decision on his favorite platform, Twitter. He tweeted, "People working in the White House should receive the vaccine somewhat later in the program, unless specifically necessary. I've asked that this adjustment be made. I'm not scheduled to take the vaccine, but look forward to doing so at the appropriate time. Thank you," with an exclamation point. And I'm gonna go ahead and provide a little speculation and say that Donald Trump did not write that tweet. Anyways, just read it a couple of times and realize that he didn't. Okay. So going into this, the New York Times was reporting, it's not immediately clear why the president decided to change the policy or whether he even had been aware of it at the time, ahead of time. But White House staff members who work in close quarters with him had been told that they were scheduled to receive injections of the coronavirus vaccine soon. Two people familiar with the distribution plans, it said. They went on to say, while many Trump officials said they were eager to receive the vaccine and would take it if it were offered, others said that they were concerned it would send the wrong message by making it appear as if Trump staff members were hopping the line to protect a president who was already recovered from the virus and bragged that he is now immune. Now, I'm glad that over at the New York Times, they point out the fact that he was bragging about it and they said he was immune. I just wanna remind everyone, the reason why people might be upset about this, if it had gone down the way that it was being defended and planned in the first place, is because your president said this after he was released from the hospital, recovering from COVID.
There's a risk, there's a danger, but that's okay. And now I'm better, and maybe I'm immune, I don't know. But don't let it dominate your lives. Get out there.
Does this suggest you no longer have COVID, sir?
Yes, and not only that, it seems like I'm immune. So I can go way out of a basement, which I would have done anyway, and which I did. It looks like I'm immune for, I don't know, maybe a long time, or maybe a short time. It could be a lifetime. Nobody really knows, but I'm immune. So it also gives you immunity. I mean, it does give you immunity. I even feel good by the fact that, the word immunity means something. Having really a protective glow.
Your president has a protective glow of immunity as soon as he's released from the hospital around the beginning of October. So with that protective glow of immunity, it makes you wonder why you would need something like a vaccine. Because if you're immune to something, you can't catch it. So I'm not sure why a vaccine would be necessary. But no, the entire White House staff was, again, at first going to be prepped to do this to make sure that everyone's safe in these leadership positions, but they're immune.
Yeah, all right, so a couple of things. First of all, no, being immune does not give you a glow. It's not a thing. Second of all, you're the president of the United States. Now 300,000 people are dead because of coronavirus in just America alone. We lead the world in deaths, let alone cases. So you might want to figure out if it actually gives you immunity or not. So he comes out of the hospital in that video you saw and he's like, I might be immune. I don't know. Then why didn't you ask someone before going on national television as the president of the United States and blabbering about immunity when you don't know anything about it? It might be short period, it might be a glow for a long period, I don't know. Then why are you talking about it and spreading misinformation? So now that all relates to what we're gonna discuss here because look, the vaccine, there's a couple of different vaccines and they work in slightly different ways. I'm certainly not an expert on it, but apparently this particular vaccine from Pfizer does not give you a little bit of coronavirus so your body can build up immunity to it. So that is how some vaccines work. But if your body has already fought the disease itself, not a little bit, but all of it, yes, you are immune to some degree. And the clarity that you need there is, yes, that you're not immune forever. People have gotten coronavirus again, but it is much harder to get it. So the people who have already had coronavirus should go to the back of the line for getting the vaccine because they need it the least. It's not that they don't need it, but they definitely need it the least. So now, in regards to the White House, almost everybody there has had it. So like the Biden team's talking about coming in with a very serious medical cleanup crew to detoxify the White House. I'm not kidding, and they should, because it's like a festering wound of coronavirus. So the Biden team is going to need the coronavirus right away because they didn't get it because they're not idiots. But the White House, I mean, look, now there's a super serious part of it. Today, a story broke that the head of the White House security office apparently had such a severe case of coronavirus, was in the hospital for 3 months and had one leg, a part of it amputated, and the big toe on the other leg amputated. And so, I mean, that they ruined that guy's life. So this is very, very serious. And unfortunately, it's like I said, pus-filled, festering vat of coronavirus at the White House. So they don't need the vaccine as much. And it looked super ugly that they were trying to get it in front of everyone else after they told you coronavirus was no big deal. So that's why they, in PR panic mode, even Trump of all people backpedaled today. He almost never backpedals. And he's like, this looks horrible, even by Trump standards. And Jayar, I have one last theory on why he might have backpedaled out of this. When they said immunity, he might have thought, it's great, I got coronavirus. Now they can't try me on any of those criminal cases. I have immunity.
Anything with immunity, he's heard about immunity before that, so he's on board. But I do want to get your thoughts on, because there are previous reasons for this, and anybody could figure it out. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you know what the New York Times said. They said senior officials across all three branches of government will receive vaccinations pursuant to continuity of government protocols established in executive policy. That's from John Ilyat, who's a spokesperson for the National Security Council. So he said the American people should have confidence that they're receiving the same safe and effective vaccine as senior officials in the United States government. So first of all, it's they want people to know that the same way that former presidents Clinton, Obama, W are all saying they're gonna take it publicly so people can know that they can take something safe. That's their first reason. Going on, they continued on. Before Mr. Trump unexpectedly reversed course, senior administration official had said that vaccinating officials was necessary for, quote, providing visible leadership to the nation and the world and maintaining the trust and confidence of the American people. They also added that vaccinating West Wing officials would help to continue essential operations without interruption so they can fight the pandemic worldwide. Now, the thought being, these are the leaders of the country. If everyone in the whole administration gets sick, who's gonna lead the country? We're gonna be upside down, things are gonna be screwy. So that's one of the first thoughts that they had. They were pushing it first before they reversed the decision, which I think would have convinced enough people. Because I remember when Trump got it and everyone's like, well, we have to, why are we so down on him? We need a leader. If we lose our leader, we're gonna be this floating entity in the middle of the world and anybody can just come for us. So that was their approach the first time. It was twofold, that and also that they're setting an example and showing Americans that it's safe. Was that gonna work?
Yeah, so I have layers to this answer. Number one, take a load off. The Trump administration doesn't have to do any of that because Biden's gonna take the vaccine publicly. So by the way, the very first person in the country who should take it is Joe Biden. Okay, let's just keep it real. He's in that older demographic, and he is actually going to be president. And he's actually gonna do something about coronavirus. So we need to protect him. Do we need to protect everyone in government? No. First of all the Republicans already had it, and we didn't miss them at all. They didn't all have it, but man, a lot of them had it. And you're really gonna miss Louis Gohmert if he's out for a couple of weeks? I don't think so. So now that applies to Democrats too. It's not like we're gonna just keep it from Republicans. So no, of course, nurses, doctors should get it first. Senior citizens should get it second. By the way, that's not how it's gonna go. In a story that we reported it for you about a week ago, bankers have skipped a line. And they're gonna go second after nurses and doctors. And they say, oh no, it's bank tellers, don't worry, we're not gonna give it to the executives, wink, wink, nod, nod. So no, I don't believe them. And we definitely should not let the bankers go second, that's insane. Okay, but last thing, Jayar, final layer to it is, after we've gotten the first 100 million people to get the vaccine, then I would, presumably they're mainly going to be people who believe in the vaccine, right? Because they're jonesing to get it. For the folks who don't believe in it, well, they're gonna be the last ones. So we could wait on them. And then at that point, I would encourage Trump and Lou Dobbs and Sean Hannity to all go get the vaccine on national TV. So their lunatic followers won't think that we're injecting them with some demon spawn microchip from Bill Gates and Fauci that's gonna harvest their brain juice. So if Trump does do that eventually, I think that'll be helpful. And I encourage him to do that, but he should be at the back of the line, not the front of the line.
Yeah, we'll see how it all comes out, because that's the other thing too. Is you're supposed to get this in 2 doses as well, right? And you're supposed to take the second one 21 to 30 days, I believe, from the first one. So what? There's 30, 40 days left of this administration. They got to hurry up and take it so they can continue to run the country. But the second dose kind of comes around the time you're supposed to get the hell out. So I don't know if that's really a good reason anymore.
You know, that's what you say, Jayar, and that's what 59 different courts said. But I heard on the internet somewhere that Trump won.
It was Parla. That's where you heard it.